Thank you very much. And I'm aware I've got 4 minutes and X number of seconds to get through this before lunch, but we're okay. Okay, some of you I know, and I'm waving to those of you who I know and I've met before, and you're probably aware that on this particular topic I can get carried away. So I have a script I'm going to try and keep to keep on time. Okay. So who is our audience as a charity? We are here to support the fire and rescue community in total. So that's you sat in the room, your partners at home. We also have children and young family weeks and so on. So it's the whole of the fire and rescue community, inclusive, everybody. Okay. What do you notice? And this is just one of our general pictures from our marketing team, and I asked them not to change it, because in a sense it covers all age categories, everybody we want to have conversations with around the menopause and the support that we offer. Because if you are more mature, you may have information that you can impart with people who are coming in and approaching the menopause. If you're young, your parent may be going through a tricky time, parents may be going through a tricky time that might be around menopause issues, which we've heard about. So it includes you all. On-call, retained, operational, support staff, control room, mechanics, cleaners. Everybody should be included in this conversation. And I think that's one of the things that we get very passionate about, is actually we want to have that conversation with yourselves, and for those who are at home who may be supporting those going through the menopause or may want information to support people in work. Completely inclusive. And actually that's a similar message to everything we've heard today about not being isolated, having those conversations and opening up the topic so that it becomes part of our everyday conversation. Okay, so how do we do that? And I have got my script because I cannot remember the order that this came up in, and the brain fog might hit at any moment. Okay, so we're here to support you individually. We're also here to support you as organisations. And some of you I'm going to mention in a minute, because we have got some menopause campaigns coming up, which are a really exciting opportunity to spread that conversation. We've got wellness coaching, which is my role. We're outward facing, so we do a variety of workshops and talks and cafes on a lot of the themes that have come up this morning: exercise, nutrition, mental health, menopause, and so on. We've added a menopause for managers workshop, because one of the topics that's come up a lot for us in the last year is how do you talk to somebody who you think might be menopausal or perimenopausal, and how do you have that conversation? So we've included that in our repertoire of workshops, because it starts to open up that difficult avenue. You know, how do you say, are you feeling all right? You're not yourself. What do you mean I'm not feeling myself? I'm fine. Very tricky to have, and that's just at home, let alone at work. We've got our MyFFC, and on there we do have a group around understanding the menopause, which is in its embryonic stage, but it's a safe space to share information, to share your experiences, to get information that we may have that is specific to the fire and rescue community. There is something different about us, although we're all sort of the same as well. And some of the stories that we've had that have been shared with myself and my colleague Sally, who do a lot of the menopause talks, is heartbreaking at times, and also at times amazing at the support that's been offered on a one-to-one basis or within groups and the networks that are happening. The more we can spread that, the better. Okay. We have residential stays for women-only rehab. So there's a consideration of the differences that the rehab is required for that avenue rather than mixed. Okay, we're just thinking around how we can make it inclusive but also appropriate for particular, like the pros and shoulders and shoulder pain that comes up, requires a different thought process around it for the input. We've got a Kickstart programme. So if anyone wants to start their fitness and doesn't really know how to get going for long-term sustainable improvements, that might be an option. We've got a menopause cafe that Sally and I deliver online. We actually find that that is probably one of the most popular workshop type deliveries we have, because it's a more open forum where we take questions and answers. There's plenty of humour, there's plenty of sharing individual information in a confidential and safe space. Okay. Which one came up there? Again, how to support the menopause, that's one we're continuing to change because different anecdotes come up. A lot of our workshops and information is not only based on evidence and research, but also on the stories we have from you that inform our practice. Because as you are finding new information, that feeds into what we're doing. So that we're being very reactive and proactive in what we're delivering for you. Okay. We've got some recorded webinars, which we did in January, and come World Menopause Day, we're going to put a few more out as well with a slightly different slant. I've mentioned about the menopause workshops. I think at the minute we've got 5 or 6, ranging from for control, support staff, operational, retained, on-call, and partners thereof. So we're trying to cover as much as we can of the different facets and work that's required. Okay. Talked about inclusivity and engaging in that conversation. Talk about it. Raise the conversation. And actually those crews, and I was at a station the other day where all male crew but wanted to know, so that when they did have a female come onto their team, they could have those conversations, they could be open about it, and they could support a real willingness to learn and to know and adapt. Okay. We've got some online stuff, bite-sized bits of information, and there's also an online menopause course which you can access through the MyFFC app. And that, as was mentioned earlier, that's a CBT-based course for psychological support. We've got our variety of psychological support services, which I'm hoping everybody in this room knows that we've got. Probably not. I mentioned the pre-recorded webinars. We've got a wide variety of articles. Quite a few have actually written by fire and rescue personnel. So it is your community who are writing for you. Okay. We've also got the HOPE programme, which again, that is around psychological support. We are aware that your head and your body are totally and utterly connected. If you don't support one, it's very difficult to support the other. Okay. We've got menopause campaigns, and I'm going to pick on one service in particular. Greg from Scotland and I've got a big campaign, October, November, December, around delivering a suite of workshops to again cover as much geography, different work watches, different work roles as we possibly can in that period of time. And we would love to deliver that with other fire and rescue services, because it has been really well received and really enjoyable to work and do that work with you. Okay. We're offering support at home and at work. You, the individual, are important to us, as are you, the organisations who are sat here today. All of you. We've got a Women's Wellbeing Week coming up at Marine Court in not too long. So again, if you're interested in that, or you know somebody who might benefit from that, That does not have to be somebody who's in work. That could be your partner. So have a look on our website and see if that would be helpful, because those we are more than happy to run on a regular basis, and there is menopause information input in that programme. And we've also got a digital wellbeing hub. So if anyone's got a phone and wants to take a quick photo of that before I move it on, that is fab. Okay, phones up. 3, 2, 1, selfie. I'm allowed to do that. I've decided I've got grey hair and I'm nearly 60. Okay, sleep, eat, exercise and repeat. We've heard that from nearly all of us this morning. Okay, I'm fortunate. I watched one of your videos a little while ago, went on HRT. I am still lifting PBs. I'm still running. I'm still cycling. Best thing I ever did was look at that whole approach. And that was one light bulb moment. So from me personally, thank you. And move on before I get all emotional. On your own, do something. If you're in a decision-making role in your organisation, if you have influence with a colleague that you work with, we can all do something now. So please do something. We've got the website, we've got the MyFFC app, we've got online courses, we've got videos, all those sorts of things you can access on your phone. Okay. If you want our input, ask us. I've put some business cards around on the table, so if you want to contact me, my email is on there, and I think the website address is on there as well. Okay. We do video consultations, so there's not a huge wait. We're not menopause specialists, that's entirely a different field, but we can help that initial conversation and certainly head you in the right direction if you're uncertain. Okay, so well worth doing. I'm not doing too bad, take too long. Just some of the impact. We've worked with 8 regions, 15 fire and rescue services. The group sizes have been between 2 and about 100. I have to say this was really scary. I'm very glad I haven't got a heart rate monitor on, because when I walked in the room, I'd probably hit 220 straight off. Recovered again. The menopause cafes have been massively successful because we do cater from 2 people up to about 100 people. Okay, so you can sit invisible in the back, but still gain something from it. We have supported Women in the Fire Service, International Women's Day. We try and do a lot around that, our Menopause Day. We support campaigns and networks. Scotland is one. We've supported some others as well. And we've got various webinars which have been accessed by over 11 services. Actually, in my dreams, I want to be working with every single service and brigade. Because we are not only here while you're working, we are here for you when you've finished working with that service. So let's start the journey now. Okay. And also, we all work in the same service, which brings a slightly different flavour. Okay. Just some of the impact ones, and I'm going to be really quick. There's one on here I particularly want to pick out, which is to support my wife and colleagues. And there was a gentleman who came to one of the menopause cafes, said nothing, tumbleweed. But what he took away significantly changed his relationship at home, which was massively beneficial to both his family and to his performance at work. So it's all of us. It's all of us who can benefit from this. And if you haven't joined, there's our QR code. Thank you, and it's lunchtime.
Thank you, OJ. You can go and relax your heart rate now.